Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise, bring you the essential insights from some really impactful research out there.
Yeah.
Today, we're plunging into a corner of medical innovation. It's one that's, well, quietly reshaping global healthcare and the economics behind it. Pretty fascinating. Our focus for this deep dive is the global market for radiofrequency ablation RFA, specifically in cardiology. If you're not familiar, RFA is a minimally invasive procedure. It uses heat generated by radio frequency energy, basically to destroy tiny areas of heart tissue that cause irregular heartbeats.
Right, arrhythmias. It's become a real cornerstone treatment for several types.
Yeah.
Absolutely critical for quality of life.
Exactly. And all the insights we're sharing today, they come from a detailed market report by Cognitive Market Research.
Yeah.
So our mission today for you listening is to, go beyond just the raw data. We want to really unpack the remarkable growth of this technology.
Yeah, the trajectory is key.
And highlight the surprising regional shifts in adoption and sort of understand what these numbers truly tell us about where global cardiac care is heading. It's not just figures, it's about lives, it's about healthcare systems evolving.
And what's really striking here, I think, is just how quickly the demand for these advanced, less invasive cardiac procedures is speeding up all across the globe. Understanding this market, it isn't just about the financial bottom line. It's more like a window into where medical innovation is making the biggest difference. And maybe more importantly, where access to these life-saving treatments is actually expanding.
That context is absolutely vital. Okay, let's kick things off with the big picture numbers. The global RFA cardiology market figures, because they are, frankly, astonishing.
They really are.
This report projects a market that was just under $2 billion back in 2021. So $1994.53 million, to be precise.
Right.
That's set to surge to nearly $6 billion by 2033. Specifically, $598.51 million.
Wow.
Just think about that for a second. We're talking about a market projected to basically triple in, just over a decade?
Yeah.
That's an incredibly fast pace.
Yeah.
It signals massive global investment, widespread adoption of this, life-changing tech.
Indeed. And that kind of sustained growth, I mean, you're looking at a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 9.61%. That paints a picture of really robust expansion.
Almost 10% year on year.
Exactly. It's clear this isn't some niche market anymore. It's a major force. And it's driven by this increasing global need for sophisticated cardiac care. And that demand, it spans everywhere from, developed nations with aging populations facing more heart conditions to the rapidly emerging economies that are busy building out their modern healthcare infrastructure.
Okay, so the global story is explosive growth. Now let's drill down a bit.
Yeah.
Where is this expansion really happening? Let's start with North America. It's traditionally been the powerhouse, right, for advanced medical tech.
Absolutely. North America is still the largest slice of the pie, the biggest contributor to this market. The region's market size, it's projected to more than double, from roughly $790 million in 2021 to over $2.1 billion by 2033. And it's maintaining a strong average growth rate, nearly 9% annually. So it really underscores its foundational role, still driving innovation.
And no surprise here, within North America, the U.S. is the dominant player, makes up a huge chunk of that market. But here's where it gets interesting, I think. While the U.S. market is massive, look at Mexico. It's showing a remarkably faster growth trajectory.
Yeah.
It's projected to triple its RFA market by 2033. And get this, it boasts the highest growth rate in North America, over 10% annually.
It's okay.
These are of 10.419%.
Wow. Okay. That is a fascinating detail because, in mature markets like the U.S., growth often comes from, say, continuous innovation, refining procedures, catering to that aging demographic we mentioned.
Sure. Incremental improvements.
Right. But Mexico's rapid acceleration, over 10% CAGR, that suggests something more dynamic, an expansion of healthcare access maybe, a swift adoption of these advanced technologies.
Yeah, makes sense.
It really speaks to a healthcare system that's actively modernizing, making these critical treatments more broadly available, especially you'd think in urban centers, private clinics maybe. It's a compelling story of progress, really.
A profound shift, yeah. Okay, let's cross the Atlantic. Europe. It presents, a diverse picture, right? A complex landscape for RFA adoption.
Very diverse. Europe as a whole, it's also set to nearly triple its market, from about $560 million in 2021 to over $1.6 billion by 2033. That's a solid CAGR too, just under 9.3%. But what's really notable here is the variety in growth speeds across the continent.
Okay.
You got countries like the UK, Germany, France. They're showing steady, substantial expansion, reflects consistent investment in their health system.
Right, the big players.
But the real standout in Europe, kind of mirroring Mexico's energy, is Spain.
Spain, interesting.
Yeah. Its RFA market is projected to skyrocket, almost tripling its size by 2033. And it leads Europe with an annual growth rate over 10.7%. That's incredibly robust, especially within, an established continent like Europe.
Over 10.7%. Wow. So what's driving that?
Well, that's the important question, isn't it? What's behind Spain's exceptional performance? It could be a mix of things, maybe specific government initiatives focused on cardiac health outcomes.
Could be.
Or maybe rising awareness leads to earlier diagnosis, earlier treatment of arrhythmias. It also suggests, an increasing capacity within their healthcare system to actually perform these advanced procedures.
Infrastructure catching up.
Exactly. This kind of regional variation really highlights how local health policies, demographic shifts, even cultural approaches to healthcare can significantly shape these market dynamics.
Yeah, absolutely fascinating. Okay, now let's shift focus to the region that's really grabbing the headlines globally. Asia Pacific. The report flat out highlights this as the area with the fastest expansion worldwide.
Oh, absolutely, no question. The Asia-Pacific market is just poised for explosive growth, projected to more than triple, leaping from just over $400 million in 2021 to nearly $1.5 billion by 2033.
Wow.
And that represents a staggering world-leading CAGR of over 11.2%. It's undeniable. APAC is the global growth engine for RFA and cardiology right now.
Explosive is definitely the word. China, as you'd expect, is a massive driver there, projected to nearly quadruple its market size.
Huge market.
But the real headline grabber, the global leader in sheer acceleration, is India.
India, yes.
Its RFA market is on track to quadruple by 2033. Boasting an incredible 12.477% annual growth rate. That's the highest in the entire report, I believe.
That's phenomenal, truly phenomenal.
And we're also seeing strong double-digit KGRs across South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Taiwan. It's like a region-wide surge in adopting this healthcare tech.
These figures from Asia Pacific they speak volumes about powerful underlying trends if we connect this back to the bigger picture. It's primarily driven by sort of a convergence. Demographics and economics coming together. You've got massive populations, especially India and China, with rising disposable incomes. A growing middle class demanding access to modern, high-quality medical care.
The demand side is huge.
Exactly. And at the same time, there's been a significant build-out of advanced medical facilities. Plus, a rising awareness of cardiovascular diseases generally, which means more people are getting diagnosed and, crucially, getting treated.
Right.
This is that rising demand we talked about earlier, just manifested on a grand, accelerated scale.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, moving south now. Let's look at South America, another region showing steady and significant ascent in this specialized market.
Yeah, South America's RFA market is also projected for robust expansion, growing from nearly $96 million back in 2021 to over $305 million by 2033. And it's maintaining a strong average annual growth rate over 10.1%.
Consistent double-digit growth there, too.
Right. It signals a region-wide commitment, really, to enhancing cardiovascular treatment options.
And leading that charge, is it Brazil?
It is. Brazil's projected to more than triple its market by 2033, with an impressive growth rate, nearly 11% annually.
Pretty strong.
And Argentina and Colombia are also showing very strong growth rates, both just over 10% as well. It's a compelling picture across the continent, showing how vital this tech is becoming.
So what's the story behind that evolution in South America?
Well, the healthcare landscape evolution there is quite pronounced. As economies, stabilize somewhat and access to specialized medical care expands, you naturally see a corresponding increase in demand for these advanced cardiac interventions. The steady growth across countries like Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, it indicates a maturing healthcare sector, one that's actively adopting these cutting-edge treatments to address their cardiovascular disease burdens.
Got it. Okay, next up. The Middle East, a region known for rapid investment in, world-class everything, including healthcare.
Indeed. And the Middle East RFA market fits that pattern. Projected for substantial growth, tripling from about $84 million in 2021 to over $275 million by 2033. That's an impressive KGR, too, over 10.2%. And Saudi Arabia is a key player here, projected to more than triple its market.
Okay. And is there a standout performer there, like we saw with Spain or Mexico?
Actually, yes. Look at Qatar,
It's out.
demonstrating remarkable acceleration. It boasts the highest regional KGR, over 11.6%.
Wow, okay.
That really highlights the concentrated, very ambitious investment in advanced medical facilities in that specific country. But you also see significant growth in the UAE and Turkey as well.
So what's the takeaway for the Middle East?
What's fascinating here is how these growth figures directly mirror the region's strategic vision and, frankly, the significant financial commitment.
Right, the investment.
Many Middle Eastern nations are proactively building these world-class healthcare systems. They're attracting top medical talent, investing in the latest tech, not just to serve their own populations, but also, to establish themselves as regional medical hubs.
Medical tourism, perhaps.
Could be part of it. And this, predictably, drives the rapid adoption of sophisticated procedures like RFA.
Makes sense. Okay, finally, let's turn our attention to Africa, a continent often highlighted for its emerging potential in healthcare.
Right. Africa's RFA market, well, it's starting from a smaller base, around $58 million in 2021, but it's still expected to nearly triple.
Okay.
To over $170 million by 2033. That represents a solid growth rate of nearly 9% annually.
So maybe a slightly more foundational expansion compared to the explosive growth in parts of Asia.
Exactly. But, the tripling of the market itself is undeniably significant.
Absolutely. A market tripling in size is profound, regardless of the starting point. And Nigeria stands out.
Nigeria does stand out with strong expansion, projected to more than triple its market by 2033 with an annual growth rate just over 9.2%.
Okay.
South Africa also shows consistent growth, around 8.2% CAGR, which signals important developments in its cardiac care capabilities, too.
So how would you characterize the growth in Africa overall?
I'd say the growth happening in Africa's healthcare sector is indeed foundational. It's about systematically building capacity, progressively increasing access to specialized care, gradually integrating more advanced medical technologies as national economies develop and healthcare infrastructure improves.
Laying the groundwork.
Precisely. These figures suggest a steady, significant move towards better cardiac care across the continent, laying crucial groundwork for, potentially even greater expansion down the line.
Okay. So after this incredible deep dive through all these numbers, all these regional trends, what does it all mean for us, the listener, and for the future of healthcare globally?
Well, if we try to connect all these dots, step back and look at the broader landscape, it's unequivocally clear the global radiofrequency ablation market for cardiology is on a very strong upward path.
Undeniable, yeah.
The core driving force. It's that escalating demand we kept mentioning for advanced, less invasive cardiac procedures. And it's happening across both the established developed economies and these dynamic, rapidly evolving emerging markets.
Right.
And while, yes, North America and Europe continue to hold significant market share, it is Asia-Pacific, really spearheaded by that incredible acceleration in India and China that's truly leading the momentum. The fastest growth globally is there.
Can't ignore APAC.
Definitely not. And we also can't forget those other standout performers, right? Mexico, Spain, Qatar. They underscore these localized but equally powerful surges in medical innovation adoption.
So the big picture.
Ultimately, I think it paints a picture of a worldwide push towards more effective, less invasive cardiac treatments. And that represents, well, that's a major victory for patient care, for longevity, pretty much everywhere.
What an eye-opening journey through the global pulse of this medical innovation. Just to quickly recap for everyone, we've seen this critical cardiology market, radiofrequency ablation, set to nearly triple in just over a decade. It's driven by surging demand all around the world. The phenomenal growth in Asia-Pacific, particularly India's leading KGR, really stands out. It's like a global benchmark for this medical shift. But we also saw impressive accelerations in places like Mexico, Spain, and Qatar.
That's a good summary.
It's just abundantly clear that RFA is being adopted globally at an astonishing pace, making a real difference in heart health. So, as we wrap up, looking at this remarkable growth of RFA in cardiology, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? With such clear economic drivers, such clear medical need, what other critical, maybe less visible medical technologies are quietly on the rise right now, poised to reshape global healthcare just as profoundly as RFA is doing? And how might they impact our lives, our health in the coming decades? Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the future of cardiac care.